But then being silenced also had an impact. The fact that you cannot find your voice. How did you eventually find your voice?
So I was always silenced when it came to my personal being. I felt I couldn't ever express myself, which was very interesting. I can't express myself about me, which in marketing today is a real handicap. But I quickly learned that there was injustices happening around me. And on some level, I'm an observer. So being in nature, you learn to observe. And for me, being an observer, I noticed what was going on. And when I added up certain issues around me that didn't make sense for me, it was like, that's not right. This is not right. And when we spoke earlier, I said to you, when I could start to think about the legitimate child, there was also the realization that the legitimate child doesn't have the same voice as somebody else because they don't have the same rights in society. They don't have the same abilities in society. Often the illegitimate child grows up with a single parent who then also doesn't have the finances. It can be that the illegitimate child is in a wealthy environment and may have different possibilities, but it still doesn't have the same standing in society, no matter how much money is available. You can't buy that standing in society. You either have to find a way around it. And so I think as an observer, I strongly stood up against injustices.
And then built a loyalty towards those that were treated in an unjust way.
Yes. So I have a strong sense of loyalty to my mother, to my stepfather. I mean, he was unjustly treated by his father. And when somebody treats somebody unjustly, we talk about it in family constellation as ill-gotten gain is a strong injustice. Then I can be like a tiger. I am like, my loyalty is nothing comes between me and the justice I am fighting for. It is like I am single-minded. I can speak, I can shout, and I have a big voice. So I can shout loud when I shout for others.
So is there a memory perhaps where you became aware for the first time that you have this voice and that you can growl?
Ooh, it's a very embarrassing story. Super
Only if you want to.
It is a story where in the convent we were allowed to have our own religious teacher. And because I was so in the observation of the different religions, of the different differences in religion, I had a lot of questioning always going on. And we had this new lady who came in to the classroom, and her teaching was different to what I understood. And I got so fighting for justice, I got a little bit rebellious in class with her. And I asked a lot of questions answer my questions because I'm already troubled with all these different religious views. And she was a new pastor that had entered the country with very distinct views of her own. And she actually then asked me to leave the classroom, and this was in grade 2. So I'm not a big girl, I'm in grade 2.
Oh, sweet.
So I take this and I am marching to Mother Superior, because I felt so strongly that this woman was leading us up the garden path. I mean, I had certain views already by this time. And I go to Mother Superior, and Mother Superior, for once, listened to me. Obviously, I'm the rebel. Obviously, I'm the one who's chucked out of class. And then she took me back into class, and I don't know what happened then, but this lady never came back to school.
Oh, so there was a big growl in that little tigress.
And this lady actually left the country within a month.
Wow.
Because she was not seen fit.
Mm.
So
at this young age, you already had the kind of discernment to sense into what is true and what is not really sincere.
It would have been her truth, but it wasn't the same teachings that we've had before, that I've had, because I was such a student of the different religious understandings. And for me, I still have it today, everything that runs parallel in the different religions, I can agree with. But when something doesn't run parallel, I question it. And that is what happened to me. So it's quite embarrassing.
So, say one more sentence about that. What do you mean by if it doesn't run parallel?
All religions have similar thought patterns. All religions have similar value systems. They may differ in certain ways of application. They may differ in certain ways of the way the service is held, the way we approach in a religion, but the teachings themselves are always parallel to each other.
I see what you mean. Right. I tend to agree with you on that.